So what people need to realize is 8 years ago, remote work wasn't a big thing yet. So actually, when we left to start Persimmon, remote work remote work wasn't a big thing. Marketing agencies were still very traditional. And by the way, I worked with a lot of them at these tech companies. It's like you'd work with one and they'd run a pay-per-click campaign for you, or they'd help you build your website or whatever. They're pretty tactical, right? Um, and so we were like remote work early. I was commuting 2 hours a day down to 0 minutes a day, spending more time. Because I always said, hey, if I can get 2 hours a day back, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to spend more time with my family. And that's happened. And I don't regret that at all. So that was a big thing. But we were also like, hey, how do we lower our cost basis? So we're still in California, but we're not in Silicon Valley anymore. Put it that way.
And isn't it amazing, Brandon, that it's only been 8 years. So, like you said, if you're younger, right, the 18 to 24, you have no, this isn't a bad thing, just saying you don't have any appreciation for just 10 years ago. If you needed to, like you said, if you needed more time or lower your expenses, you physically moved, right? Today, not an option, but not really an obstacle, right? You could take the cool job in Idaho and work from PA or vice versa. That's fascinating, dude. That is really insightful. We forget as that's how quickly things change now, right? 8 years ago, you'd have to physically move. That was the consideration. That's crazy, man. Um, but let's go back to foot in the door, right? So now we're talking about younger folks. Okay, they have a few different type of obstacles to get in the door. I know when I was younger, it was we're going to pay you 3 peanuts to work here. Um, but yeah, talk about one or two or three things that if you were younger, what would you tell your younger self about getting a foot in the door these days?
Yeah, well, so I think about it when I was building marketing teams. You hired for a few different types of roles previously, right? You'd usually have product marketing people that you have, right, that were product experts, know the customers really well. You might have customer marketing people that work with customers. You'd have social media people. You'd have demand gen people. You'd have all these different marketing functions. And you'd have marketing operations, they called it Mops, just like you have sales operations. And typically, SOPs and MOPS people were a little bit technical and they kind of managed your tech stack. Now, if I was someone in college right now, I would want to become a marketing sort of AI tech stack person in college, which is use these tools, go start building agents. Even if you don't code, everybody talks about vibe coding. You can check that out and do a little vibe coding. I mean, you've got to be, because employers are even bringing this stuff in the interviews. If you can get an interview, they'll ask you how you're using AI and what tools you're doing and talk to me about the projects or the agents you built and what was the outcome. So, I mean, I think that's really cool. I don't think it's almost like the power of the Intel internship in the 90s to me. If you can go out and use these tools and build really cool AI agents and then get it in front of a founder that maybe doesn't have a job up on their website, send them a note on LinkedIn, try to get them to look at your agent or run it on their company and send them an output of it, for example. I mean, why would that founder not meet with you? Believe me, they'll tell someone at their company to go talk to you if you can do that. So that's where I'd start.